and happy Christmas to everyone. Oh, it's the good morning Christmas walk. Oh, I really have to get back in the habit of doing these. I've just got out of the habit, unfortunately. I really need to do more of these. New Year's resolution and all that. With even bringing back, of course, the good old Yorkshire saying of bereat. Even brought that back for today and today only. Oh. But yes, we are out. It's surprisingly cold today. On this morning. Can definitely feel it. Absolutely cold. More so the wind than anything else. That's really seems to be the cold factor this morning. But other than that, it's not a bad Christmas morning, to be honest. No chance of snow, as always. I think in my entire lifetime, it's only snowed like maybe once or twice, I think, on Christmas. And I always love the whole betting thing for that. In fact, I don't know how they still judge it today. Murdoch, good morning to you. I'm not going to try and read your full name, but good morning. Yes, good morning, and Merry Christmas. Morning and Merry Christmas to everyone joining us as well. But yeah, the old way that used to win that bet. The old way you used to win that bet was the whole betting thing was the betting companies would bet it would snow on Christmas morning. The only way to win that bet was if it snowed on like the roof of the old BBC broadcast studios. So that's a really weird way of how do they still do that now when they don't own those studios anymore. Did they move it to the new one? I don't know. Morning. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
So yeah, it's really weird that they still do that, and I don't know if they still count it anymore. Ooh, wow! And this is yet a big problem, as you can see here. It's going to be a very muddy Christmas morning. Let's go around, shall we? Let's just nip around the bog. Much easier when you can just do that. But yes, good morning. Banner Harpers, good morning to you. Happy Christmas, no snow, what's the point? Exactly. Golan Boy, good morning to you. Good morning from Poland and Europe, the only free world we have left. Oh, good morning to you from Poland. And of course, Craig, good morning to you and Merry Christmas as well. And Merry Christmas to everyone else joining us on this slightly festive. Good morning. I've got to be careful there. Last thing I want to fall is to fall over. But, yes. Merry Christmas to all watching. But have we seen, speaking of absolutely things that won't happen, have we seen the new Trump-class battleship? My God. Oh, my God. I have followed probably since the whole Ukraine war has kicked off. I've started following a heck of a lot of military bloggers who talk about not only military equipment, but like the history of like how military stuff gets built, like the wars of like procurement and things like that go off in the background, very much like modern military history that doesn't get doesn't get talked about in many ways. And oh my word, in the past couple of days, I do apologize for the wind, in the past couple of days, because of that, they have had a field day. They have had a field day of content. They've loved it. They've loved every second of it. just this absolute monstrosity that has been dropped in the name of vanity upon Donald Trump. It's been unbelievable. Stephen Hardy, good morning to you. Merry Christmas. Can we take some sort of comfort that moves towards a potential customs union? We'll talk about that in a moment, actually. Craig, good morning to you. Yeah, Warhammer 40k called and they want all their cartoony, absurd, everything shooty art style back. Exactly. This is absurd. This is really, truly absurd. The fact that they've decided, we're bringing back the battleship, and you're like, guys, we don't need to bring back the battleship because you don't need it anymore. I mean, whoever takes over after Trump next, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to quietly stop that being commissioned, because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, every single military blogger that I follow has pretty much pointed out that everything below is going to have to do this like massive almost magazine. And on a ship you need other stuff than magazines, but they've basically just figured out that you're not going to have anywhere to put it. Basically going to have like 3 cruise missile launchers. It's going to have like a main battery gun, and then it's also going to have other like secondary batteries. You're just like, it's just a massive floating magazine. And then Laserpig, one of the other people that I followed, probably one of the biggest recently that I followed, he points out, well, how are you going to actually use it as an engine? Say, well, we'll go this way. A bit worried about the cows, so we'll just go this way instead today. I don't want to be tangled up with cows on Christmas Day. He points out, how are you actually going to, put an engine in this thing? Are you going to use a nuclear engine? Because that's what you probably have to use to power something like this. And then if you're not, you're going to have to use a steam turbine, which will only increase the weight of this ridiculous gargantuan beast even more. So, yeah, the Trump class battleship, we're never going to see it built. It's never going to be real. It's never ever going to set sail. And as I said, the first thing, as everyone's also been saying, probably the first thing the next president does is just quietly cancel it and reorder the building of the destroyers that they actually need, that Trump has stopped, to build this monstrosity. Just what are they doing? Oh dearie me. Oh, Dave, good morning to you. Merry Christmas, one and all. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Big battleships are basically obsolete. Exactly. It's carriers, you know? It's pretty much carriers and smaller ships that are now that make up modern navies. It's you know, the fact that you would go around and build a battleship completely underestimates everything that has happened since World War II, modern military history, military technology, just, you know, everything. Basically. Craig, I'm looking forward to the administration after Trump making a point of now removing Trump names off everything. I hope he's there to see it. I hope so too. Do you know? Oh, here's one we haven't talked about. Have you heard about the quote presidential walk of fame that he did? The presidential walk of fame. Oh boy. Oh boy. Drone warfare will make all these ships obsolete. Well, it will certainly make the Trump-class battleship obsolete. You know, the whole drone warfare things. Drones are not like the be and end all of warfare. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, this and this is now obsolete." It's not. It's because, look, in the current war, yes, drones are playing a massive part. One of the reasons why they're playing such a massive part is because both sides do not have the jamming, the electronic warfare scale, you know, and to have that level of, you know, electronic warfare on the battlefield, you've got to actually have an economy that can facilitate those types of things. Russia doesn't have that economy because it pretty much relied on exports for that, so it ain't getting any of that anymore. And Ukraine, again, previously to that, never had that in its economy. So there are, you know, limitations. Most of the stuff that it has for that do come in the form of stuff from the West. Again, I think there's more hype than anything else. I think a lot of people are hyping up drones, you know, drone this, drone that. And yeah, drones are playing a big part of the battlefield, but I think there's a lot of hype. More than anything else. Oh. But yeah, the presidential walk of fame. God. So this is one of the new additions to the White House. Apart from it now being like all gold. Oh yeah, and of course the new East Wing, ballroom. God. Oh. So the new presidential walk of fame, what is it? Well, basically it's a picture of all these presidents, and beneath them is like their description. And basically Trump has not been kind to Obama and Joe Biden. Literally on the plaque beneath it says "Sleepy Joe Biden." And you're like, well, not only will that be changed and those just come off, but I think Trump's own plaques are not going to be too kind either. Oh, yeah, the idea that like so much of this stuff gets kept, like after Trump leaves, is madness. It really is. The idea that it gets kept by whoever the next president is just Jesus, sheer madness. Band of Harpers, the ballroom will probably be knocked down. for suspicion now of being bugged by foreign powers. Well, I know that there is a group now that's suing, apparently. It's like, I think, it's not like the US version of the English heritage, but I think they're sort of like that. And I know that they've sued Trump over this. So that could be interesting if that happens. God. Just, you know what? 3 more years of this. 3 more years of this. However, midterms, God, I hope the Democrats do well. You've got to really hope the Democrats do well. Because if they do, that means lots of investigations into all this Trump nonsense. Not only that, of course, there's all the Epstein stuff coming out in this. You know, what's been, you know, redacted and what hasn't. So that's going to be fun as well, probably in the early part of next year. Because there's a lot of very, very busy journalists, I suspect, this Christmas with these files. So I think yesterday they announced a ton more of documents that they've now found in relation to this. So it's just like, okay. Oh, me, oh my. But yeah, the Trump stuff, crazy. Madness. And yet this is what the stuff they're going with. Okay. And I will say this now. I am surprised that the Republicans are still sticking with Trump. I am shocked because we had our own Trump, of course, in Boris Johnson. And there came a point where even the Tories went, we can't continue with this. This is just madness. You know, eventually they realised and got rid of Boris. But at what point are the Republicans going to do that? And I'm shocked that they haven't done it over the years, because they've had plenty of chances to do, and they've never done it. And it's just been so odd, so odd, that they've never taken the chance and the opportunity to do that. It's just so bizarre, so bizarre. Oh, Craig, you can normally judge things by their announcements, and Republicans are now announcing that they're retiring at a very crazy rate. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, let's just get out. Let's just retire now. Let's just retire now. Oh, but I've said this before. You know, it does feel like, especially in America, they're in a bit of a transition phase where, like, the old guard are like retiring. They're getting old, and the new people are now like getting ready to come in to the party, and that you're going to see a really big change in, I think, in American politics over the next couple of years, is that like the old Democrats and Republicans basically get old, retire, and eventually die. You know, Mitch McConnell, probably like the last big, you know, great Republican, he's retired and left, and the party is going in a who knows what direction on this. It does look like there might be a revolt potentially in the, I think it's in the House or Senate, against the leader there, because obviously he hasn't allowed the vote on the ACA. So that would be something that could happen in the new year that could be quite fun on that one. So yeah, next year's American politics could be quite could be quite interesting very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. That's for sure. Oh, but onto our own politics. Bear in mind, we're ending the year with Reform going down in the polls. This is now the third time they've done a national poll, and they've gone down in it. And just as I said at the beginning of the year, and people were calling me, oh, that'll never happen, that'll never happen. You know, well, here we are. They're down in the polls. There's the Nathan Gill stuff come out. There's all the, Farage racism stuff. Guarantee you there's going to be more stuff that could come out as well. Then there's the whole electoral commission stuff, into the fact that Farage has overspent in Clacton, which, if he is found guilty of, which there is a very good chance, considering, they caught his electoral campaigner admitting that they had overspent, knowingly overspent. Yeah, it doesn't look good if Farage gets thrown out of Parliament on that one. Craig, yeah, it's all about base energy. Long-term leaders have seats that are in safe, at least in general, but vulnerable in primaries. The energetic base can, of course, topple safe leaders if they decide, of course, to come out. Again, yeah, very true. Obviously, in May, we have the local May elections. I am very worried here in general, in my hometown, because we are doing an all-out election this year because of boundary changes. So all 62 seats are up for grabs. Normally we'd do them in two pairs, 2 years apart. So you do 31 year, the next 13, 2 years later. But no, we're doing all 62 at once. I am very worried I might end up with a Reform council. I am very worried we're going to end up with a Reform council here, and that's going to lead to some very, very bad outcomes. Very, very bad outcomes, because we've had a Labour council here that has actually come up with a really good plan. We've had some really good regeneration in the town centre, and that's driven a lot of other good things because of that. And because we've had that good town centre, not only has that attracted more jobs, it's attracted more investment, which has meant the council has been able to do other stuff and really drive forward a lot of stuff with the town centre. And the thing is, if these Reform people get in, the 2030 plan, which all this is based on, they're just going to stop. They're just going to go, nope. Because we've seen that happen on these other Reform councils as well. And oh god, I don't know whether I'm gonna have a go at the Green Party over this or not, because probably should mention it now so you all expect it when I just absolutely lay into them later on. But in my town at the moment, they are running a campaign which says to me they intend to try and split the vote. The way they are running this campaign, certainly in my hometown, seems to me they want to try and split the vote in a very, very big way. And I am not happy. I am not best pleased with how they are doing this, because yeah, we're going to end up possibly with a Reform council, maybe thanks to the Greens. So if that does happen, I am not going to be best pleased. So, oh boy, am I going to turn into some sort of, angry, vengeful god on top of Mount Olympus, and I am going to start hurling thunderbolts. I am going to start hurling thunderbolts left, right, and centre because of that as well. So, yeah, you've got probably that to look forward to next year as well. Oh, but yeah, we've ended off the year once again covering more of these, reform councils. I still have not believed that even after, like, you know, the final Friday where they had finally done it, that was it, final council meetings for the year. I knew there was going to be some stories, but there's still stories ongoing. I'm just like, oh my God. How? And I know I've said this every single time I've started a video, but it's really true. I really want to get across to you guys just how insane the amount of stories they are generating on this. I still can't believe the amount of stories that they are generating on this. It's just absolutely mad. But there you go. I just generally can't believe it. You know, Kent's been one thing, and I'm still expecting, bear in mind, more from Kent. Because there's the whole political assistance row breaking out down there. Oh, pardon me, down there as well. So, you know, that's going to be quite fun, because there's a potential there if they get found out for that, and that goes completely against them, which it could do. Every single reform councillor in Kent might then have to be like thrown out, and then Kent goes for like a full re-election. I kid you not. That could happen. That could actually happen. Which could be insane. But not only that, apparently that's also happened in Warwickshire as well. Of course, with George Finch, he's had his own political assistant, and they've apparently elected his guy who was his campaign manager. So you know, jobs to mates and all that. And it's all. And this is the big thing I've found so bizarre, that these were the type of people who, prior to this, were always like absolutely outcrying, outraged that this type of stuff would happen. But the second it happens to reform, or there is like a very clear example of this happening in like a reform lot, they're absolutely dead silent. They've got absolutely nothing to say. You're like, come on guys, come on here. But yeah, expect more fun stuff on the Reform Council stuff in the future. You know, the budget of Kent was literally dropped on Saturday, and in January, of course, we'll be going into the first time a lot of the councils we'll be seeing like the full budget. That's going to be very, very interesting as well. Not only that, you've also got the fact that in Lancashire and now Derbyshire, they are now selling off care homes, which, well, I think you can imagine the outlook on that. Because if you've basically got a picture of like Farage throwing your granny out onto the street, which, bear in mind, in these two cases it absolutely does come across as that, then yeah, they have absolutely failed. They've absolutely failed on that, and this has generated in these areas a massive backlash against their popularity. And I was speaking with Phil about this very recently. You know, what if May we do end up with a load of reform councils, but because of these reform councils and like people really seeing like the incompetence like on display from like this many reform councils, that this is how we don't then end up with a reform government. And that might be the case. You know, that might actually be the case, that all the failure to actually govern at like the local level is just such a catastrophic build-up that people just go, yeah, no, sorry, if you can't run a council, how can you run a national government? You know? Because it is true, local politics, as I often say, is very, very important. Very, very important. And it can have an effect on how people vote for their MP at the national election. You know, local issues have, from time to time, cropped up and absolutely sunk a candidate for a party because of what's happening locally, because of what their party's done locally. So it is going to be an interesting time, and I think certainly April, May is going to be a very interesting period, because I'm going to be certainly at that point taking a look at like what campaigns these people are running, because we've seen with the current crop, they ran a very strange yet divisive campaign. You know, I was hearing people from Doncaster that the Reform people had been coming around and telling them that if you know, you vote for them, they'll undo the winter fuel allowance stuff. And I'm like, even if you did win, you'd have no power over that, because that would be a central government thing, not a local government thing. So we'll have to see, and what type of very probably divisive campaign they are going to run. But as Craig, as you said in your comment earlier on, it is all about turnout, and I think that this local election is going to come down to turnout. Because I'll tell you what, and I think people who have watched me long enough know that the last time we had a local election in my town, our turnout rate was 25%. You know, that is not good. That is not good for a local election. It's not good at all. And then it's such a low turnout, it all becomes about who you can get out. All becomes about who you can get out. And that does become really what the next local election really becomes about. Can you drive the turnout? Can you get your people out? And unfortunately, as I've said many times, Farage and Reform, they have a very, very good ability to do that. That has been something that they have constantly shown, that they can motivate their base and get them out. And I'm hoping at least the next election there is a drive from people. There is a drive from people to come out and go, yeah, we need to stop these Reform people. There is a bump in the polls, at least. But it's not only just here, it's the Welsh Senate, although I'll tell you what, I think the whole Nathan Gill stuff has torpedoed them there. I think with this and the way that Farage acted, basically declaring that he can't investigate his candidates or his party, he just has to trust the honour system. You know, Do you swear you never took bribes? Excellent. Carry on. What's that brown envelope sticking out of your pocket with the Russian flag on? Oh, don't worry about that. You know? No, but I think that might have torpedoed their chances. I seriously think it might have torpedoed their chances, because there has been a big, really big turn against them in Wales because of that. Cavalan, good morning and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone watching us, by the way. I hope you have the most festive time of the season and you have a fantastic day, and that Santa brought you many a pleasant gift. May you feast well and drink well on this most festive of days. Consider that my Christmas message to you all. Oh. Yeah. Happy Christmas. It's not at all bad. We still have Liz Truss on YouTube showing British comedy is still alive and well. God, I have to do that at some point, don't I? We have to sit down and watch, you know, an episode of the Liz Truss show. The big question is do we do it live as she is broadcasting, or do we do it after and then watch one after? That's the big question. Craig, has your party actually done anything, or are they just saving their next eruption for New Year? It's probably going to happen in the New Year. Now they've allowed dual memberships. Pretty much the SWP, the RCP, the CP, all these other lunatic fringe parties have now flooded in and are basically trying to take over all these committees, the steering groups. Trust me, the Your Party stuff next year is going to be hilarious, because you're going to see all this infighting like erupt on the stage of what's going to happen here. Will they run any candidates in the May local election? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, if they will or not, but it'll be funny to see if they do. Sir George Galloway will be joining the leadership. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be happening with Galloway? But he may very well try to do. He may very well try and get in. I know he's been encouraging his goon squad to go and get involved with them. So it's yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year. That's for sure. It's going to be a very interesting year on that front. And like I say, they've gone quiet since their conference, because I think they're still trying to like digest what's happened. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see if they run any candidates in May. And quite frankly, I expect them to be absolutely diabolical. I expect them to be 100% awful in like the worst ways. I mean, that entire weekend, I was happened to be away that weekend, but if I hadn't, honestly, I would have been watching like that entire debacle. I would have been watching that entire debacle live and just laughing at it, because there was some incredible moments of like people speaking and talking and just like, what are you on about, mate? What are you trying to do? This isn't about that. They're trying to basically have a discussion about this, and you're bringing this into the conversation, and then like people in the crowd being upset that you can't bring up this, and like the poor moderator who's trying to like keep the discussion going is like getting booed. It's like, conference, I'm trying to keep everything on track. And I'm like, gosh, that poor person. Oh, I do, honestly, I felt sorry for her. I felt so sorry for her. Oh, Marmalade, my local Lib Dem MP, Al Pinkerton, doing a great job moving the EU debate forward. Yeah, that'll be something, because I said I was going to talk about that. We are coming to the end, but I'll quickly talk about it. This is exactly how I predicted it would go. Like, honestly, this is how I predicted it would go. I said there's either two ways we rejoin the EU. Either A, we basically go back and we go and rejoin as full members, or what ends up happening, we end up joining it piecemeal. So we join the customs union, and then we go, oh well, actually the customs union is really good, let's just join the single market as well. So we end up joining the single markets, and then after that we become full members again. You know, I only predicted this years ago, and yet I was called a lunatic. I was made fun of by other certain YouTubers. You know, but it is Christmas, so, you know, peace and goodwill to all men, as they say, upon this day. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that debate continues next year. But I think it's now inevitable that we are probably on course to probably rejoin the customs union at some point. If not, maybe the single market as well. Who knows? But we'll have to see how that develops. Craig, good morning. Oh, I've already said good morning to you. Happy Christmas and all that. How long till Sultana moves on to her next party and she sets fire everything else on the way out? I will tell you what. Let me give you a Christmas prediction, Craig. I think by this time next year, Zara Sultana is going to have done that, burn all the bridges of your party, and I think she's going to join the Greens, and then I think she's going to cause massive problems for the Greens from that point on when she's in there. Because I'll tell you what, she's going to want dual leadership with Zach Polanski. I don't think Zach Polanski wants to share the spotlight with anyone, from what I've been hearing. But of course, as always, that's a story for another time. But as always, have a very happy Christmas, everyone. We are at the end of our good morning walk today. Our good morning Christmas walk today. So go out, enjoy yourselves, feast, be festive and be merry. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time, and have a very, very happy Christmas. So until then, we'll see you all very soon.